Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dante Toro, and today I am going to be looking at the greatest WWE pay-per-view posters of all time. I put out a tweet asking you guys to send me what you think is the best WWE pay-per-view poster ever, and boy, oh boy, did you deliver. I have more than a handful of posters to go over here, and I did leave a lot off because there were so many to choose from. So if you want a part two, please let me know in the comments. And before we get going, please make sure to like and subscribe. Check out all the other videos on this platform. Check out Talk to Myself that comes out every Monday here on YouTube and audio only platforms. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Let's get into some posters. First things first, we're just gonna get this one out of the way. This is the GOAT WWE poster of all time. This is the greatest wrestling pay-per-view poster ever. Nothing better. There were a lot of people that did tweet me this one, so there's no like tweet to go with it because there were so many of you are right. This is the best one. And also, not only is Jeff Hardy featured on the greatest wrestling pay-per-view poster of all time, but he's also featured on the greatest magazine cover of all time, which is basically just the same. It's just the same cover. There's a lot of great ones here, but I just wanted to get the best out of the way. All right, we have Young D that says, this one is gas in my personal opinion. We have Judgment Day 2005 John Cena. This is an iconic poster because you see John Cena planted his fist down on the table looking ahead, but if you look at the reflection, he has the WWE Championship around his waist. Absolutely fire. I think this was the Judgment Day where he absolutely just got busted open and was bleeding everywhere. Iconic poster. John Cena, I don't think this is gonna be the last time we see him in this video, but this one's iconic. Sticking with Judgment Day here, we have Liam saying that this has always been the one for him. Simple yet effective. Edge with the evil kind of smirk on his face, and he has the scale kind of weighing it one way. You think Judgment Day? I look at this poster, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And speaking of Edge, he's on another one here. Backlash 2007 EMG mask says banger. Absolutely. This is like the Shining recreation of the Shining. Again, Edge has this evil look on his face. Honestly, the perfect heel in wrestling. Him and Randy Orton, the two GOAT heels. Here, I think this was the Fatal 4-Way match, him, Orton, Shawn Michaels, John Cena. This poster brings me back to my childhood and makes me remember those early days of wrestling because I started getting into WWE and stuff a few months prior to this. So this was one of the first pay-per-views that I was like locked in on and I knew what was happening. In this poster, I see it. I think about my early days in wrestling, my early memories of wrestling, my earliest memories. And with all that being said, this poster is absolutely a classic. It really is hard to top something like this. We have two Unforgiven posters here. Double A says, I'm a little biased here. I like Unforgiven '07. It's sneaky underrated, both of them. It was my first wrestling show I went to live. Pretty cool show to go to live. I didn't know there were two posters for this one. So the one that I initially know is the one of just the Undertaker where it's a close-up underneath of his hand going up. This was one of the first wrestling DVDs that I ever bought. So when I see this, again, kind of going back to Backlash, it brings me back to my childhood of being like, this was one of the first pay-per-views that, well, the first pay-per-view that I had physically on disc. And I always have had a bias towards this poster as well. The other one with Cena, Orton, Batista, Ray, Khali, and then Undertaker looming in the background. To me, it kind of looks like you just threw on some renders of these other guys there and had the Undertaker in the background. This was built around the Undertaker returning, I believe. I kind of like the simpler one where it's just him, but not all of them are going to be great. And before we move on, I wanted to stay on the Unforgiven train here because I really think that Unforgiven has some of the best WWE posters ever. I mean, we have Unforgiven 2000, I believe this is, The Undertaker. We've talked about this before. I think we had Sophie rate this one on a video for Stash Club of posters in the 2000s. This might be a top tier, like S tier pay-per-view poster. This one is sick. I mean, The Undertaker and his whole biker gimmick and everything was the best Undertaker gimmick ever. I really love motorcycle, badass Undertaker. And just with the logo in the back and everything, and the Unforgiven logo too, it's a fucking great poster. And then the Kane one over here. Kane, I don't know if we have another one here. There was a few people that submitted Kane posters that were awesome. Kane has a really good track record of pay-per-view posters, and this one, I think it says, what does it say? Face your fear. If I see that face that close up to me, I ain't facing no fears, I'm shitting my pants. I think this was right after or right around when he had his mask reveal or had his mask taken off, so Kane does a really good job at making scary posters or being part of scary posters, so just wanted to give a shout out to those two because Unforgiven has some hidden gems. Thomas, excuse me if I mispronounced your name, great poster for a great SummerSlam. This screams summer. SummerSlam over the last few years, first of all, that SummerSlam logo with the star, I feel like has been used at least 20 different times, but I think that this is an embodiment of summer, right? Riding a roller coaster, it's sunny outside, beautiful weather, whatever. Roller coaster, summertime vibe. I like it. I think this was SummerSlam 2013, so CM Punk was the champ here. What even matches happened SummerSlam 2013? Bray Wyatt defeated Kane in a Ring of Fire match. Cody Rhodes defeated Damian Sandow. Randy Orton beat Daniel Bryan. Oh, this was the one that Bryan beat Cena, and then Orton cashed in. That's right. Oh, and then Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. Oh, wow. What a great... No, this was an unbelievable SummerSlam card. Yeah, great poster for a great event. They don't make these summertime SummerSlam posters like they used to. This will forever be one of my all-time favorites, says Draven. Made them seem like such a huge deal, and it's Survivor Series 2013. Bray Wyatt sitting front and center. Both Eric Rowan and Luke Harper have definitely real alligators on their shoulders. This is just a personification of what the Wyatt family was. This creepy, evil, maniacal, kind of intimidating group that really set the wrestling world by storm. And this isn't the first and last Bray Wyatt poster that we'll be getting to, but whenever I see these posters, like I see this Bray Wyatt poster, this Wyatt family poster, and I just think of how WWE just really dropped the ball with them. Like, this is 2013, so we're just a few months out of WrestleMania 30 where he faced Cena. Big match, but Super Cena took out the gold shovel on that one and got the win. But it really just makes me think back of how good they were and how WWE really just, I feel like maybe dropped the ball is a little harsh because they did do a lot of great things, but they could have done a lot more. All right, fuck it. I'm just going to jump right to the next Bray Wyatt one. Mike G says, we know how the match went, but this is one of my favorites. Simple, and if a non-wrestling fan were to see this, they would have thought it was a horror movie poster. This is where I can say WWE truly dropped the ball with Bray Wyatt. When The Fiend was coming around, when he started this whole Firefly Funhouse character, like this in 2019 was such a cool period because Bray Wyatt has always been one of my favorite characters. I've always admired his creativity and able to step outside the box and do such unique things. His promo work was top tier, and bringing in the Firefly Funhouse with The Fiend was genius. And I couldn't fucking believe that Vince McMahon and WWE buried him and somehow made people not care about the character, because this was a once in a lifetime, a once in a generation thing. Bray Wyatt had the mind of no one else, and he had such a good grasp on this character and everything going with it. And then not just in this event, this was the start of it, but I mean months later with Goldberg and everything like that, and even other things that happened. Him losing at Mania to Randy was crazy. You see this poster, you think of horror movies, you think of just the creativity again, because Bray Wyatt was like a writer of horror films, and he brought that to life on the screen. Rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. It really sucks that WWE didn't get a chance to use you as well as they could have, but these posters are a reminder of how great he was, how great the Wyatt family was, and that will always remain true. The semi-final boss this goes incredibly hard. I miss Cyber Sunday. I miss when they actually used to hold that event and have the power of the people, I guess. I don't know how real it was. I don't know if WWE actually used the fan voting as a decision maker for their matches, special guest referees, stipulations, whatever, but the concept of it is really cool. And CM Punk here with the classic arms and an X, the X on his hands, and everyone else doing it. Nice little touch is that they're holding the phone too, kind of showing the purpose of the pay-per-view is to vote. Also kind of makes it seem like very futuristic and stuff. I don't know, I see this and I think Black Mirror for some reason. I don't know why I'm thinking like, not negative, but like kind of, I don't know. I get Black Mirror vibes for some reason, but still very cool. I hope they bring back Cyber Sunday one day. The way that they're kind of bringing back old pay-per-views and doing new things nowadays, it wouldn't be shocking if they did bring it back one day. But if they do, maybe they can recreate this poster right here. Now, this one right here is one of my personal favorites. So we have the Royal Rumble 2008. Zach says, this was always my favorite. I feel you, brother. Them all fighting in a subway, because it's at Madison Square Garden, it's in New York. Not only the poster, but they had a big like trailer for it, and they had a video of all them fighting in the subway. I'm a sucker for multi-man posters, of posters that include like a lot of wrestlers like this does. Jeff Hardy front and center, of course, like that's gonna put the cherry on top of the sundae for me, but you got legends like Matt Hardy, Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton, Batista, Umaga RIP, Rey Mysterio, MVP, Mark Henry, Finlay, The Miz, Mr. Kennedy, John Morrison. Did I say CM Punk? CM Punk is in there. I think Kane is in the background, putting his hand on MVP's throat. You have an all-star cast in here. This poster is fucking awesome because not only is it, again, like you have all the wrestlers in here, but it's symbolic of you're in New York, you're taking the subway. It just fits perfectly. And also 2008, like for me, watching wrestling was the staple of, okay, I love this shit, you know what I mean? And I want to stick to the Royal Rumble posters. Some of these weren't submitted, but I do want to give a shout out and I want to give some love to these ones. Royal Rumble 2007, again, same concept where it's just a bunch of guys, wrestlers going at it, and you're still the Royal Rumble logo right front and center. Again, you have legends on here like The Undertaker, Ray, Shawn, Kane, Booker T, Randy Orton, Triple H, John Cena, Edge, Ric Flair, Batista, some people on here that we don't want to name, CM Punk, Umaga, Rob Van Dam, just absolute legends, just kind of showing you how stacked the roster was back then too. And same can be said about Royal Rumble 2001 here. This might be genuinely like one of the greatest wrestling posters of all time. I know I said Jeff Hardy's No Way Out is, but this one probably is in my Mount Rushmore because it's like you have everyone, but it's in the art style and everything like that. It's not just you're putting photos of these guys on here, not putting just renders or whatever it may be. It's just the animation of it is really sick. And again, looking at this roster here, all Hall of Famers. Like, it's insane how stacked this roster is. 30 men, every man for himself, one victor. This is hard. This poster is incredibly hard. Okay, we are down to our last two posters here. The second to last one, we have SummerSlam 2006. It's just too goofy. It's amazing in my opinion, plus the amount of talent on there from Dames. Thank you for sending this. There's a lot going on here. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's funny. It's fun. There's a lot of things going on, but this is just purely just copy and paste, just taking renders of wrestlers and just throwing them on there, just throwing anyone on there. You have Batista standing there who just did a photo. That was like his late 2006, early 2007 photo shoot. And they threw him in there with Tori Wilson holding some hot dogs. Triple H and Shawn Michaels front and center. I mean, what is it? The Barbecue King of Kings? What does that say on his? I don't even know what that says. And obviously his says Degeneration X. John Cena jumping into the pool, arms wide, tongue out with the crazy faces. It's funny. It's a funny poster, but it really is a mess. What's going on in the back? You have Booker T and Sharmell finding the Boogeyman, the Spirit Squad. I don't know who that person is behind Trish. And then Mark Henry and Kane's throwing someone off the roof. There's just a lot going on. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it's memorable. It's memorable for sure. Last one here, your friendly neighborhood Spider Wade says simple but fire. CM Punk 2011 with the ice cream bar. Bring back the ice cream sandwiches, man. Bring back WWE ice cream sandwiches. I remember one of my best friends growing up. We were both huge wrestling fans. For his birthday party, he like got like an ice cream truck. His family got an ice cream truck, and they just brought all WWE ice cream bars, the sandwiches, so fucking good. And I remember this was years ago, like maybe pre-COVID. I was at a gas station, just went inside to get a drink, whatever. And I just, they have the ice cream machine, the freezer, like right next to the aisle, not the aisle, like where you stand in line. And I'm just standing there, I'm looking. WWE ice cream bar is just sitting there. I thought they went extinct at that point, so I did get one, and man, it hit just like it did when I had it for the first time when I was 8 or 9 years old. If this poster is telling you, is telling me, is telling us anything, it's a sign that WWE needs to bring back the ice cream bars. CM Punk, you are back in WWE for a reason. I know you want to main event WrestleMania, but let's get the ice cream bars back in the shelves first, and then we can talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know what your favorite wrestling poster was that I went over today. I know I left a bunch off, so if you want a part 2, please let me know so I can include more wrestling pay-per-view posters, because there were really a shit ton to choose from, and I wish I could have included more. Didn't want to make this video like an hour long, so for the sake of keeping it short and going over some great ones still, this is what we're doing. But again, let me know if you want a part 2. Check out Talk to Myself, that comes out every single Monday here on YouTube and audio only platform. Check out all the other content on this channel. Follow me on my socials. You know the deal. It's in the description. Until next time, I hope you have a great rest of the day. Peace out.